Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. A first down and more. Etienne and gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
Flush to his right. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 2nd and 10. Lawrence eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You wonder with any receiver how he'll handle working over the middle of the NFL, especially with a young receiver. They tried it there to no avail.
And his kick is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Here's Mayfield. Going out wide, finds Chubb. Not much there, only a yard.
All defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game too. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll roll him out right. Now Mayfield lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A run for Nick Chubb. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Always so many storylines when you're playing January football. And, Charles, you talk about this offense, their head coach, it's his first time in charge in the playoffs. And I think you and I were both kind of surprised by his demeanor and specifically his comments and his confidence at the press conference where he really all but guaranteed a victory.
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback because you don't normally see that. And on one hand, it's like a
rush coming, and he's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Mayfield. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Jags, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown. Down after the video review, so they had it right. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Looking deep for Adams. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Working with 2nd and 5 now.
61, matchbox lights.
Now Lawrence to throw. Finding Knox there, complete.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. On play action, Lawrence. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And they'll get this down to the 10. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Lawrence will throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Works right side into the hands of the tight end Knox. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
General West. Stay in the situation. Let's go.
Gibson. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A big play that time for Cleveland.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
On third down, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence to throw. And his pass, incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple of yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw, Mayfield. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not getting the first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails...
Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Lawrence. Flushed out right. And he'll let this one go deep for... Caught inside the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, 45 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Now for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. Kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Mayfield to throw it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield now, rolling to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. They'll roll him out right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Running out of the gun with ETN. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Hey, Wahoo! I got it. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Show it. Shoot.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 1st and 10, Mayfield flush to his right. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Down right around the 25. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Looking for the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are back within a score. A strong run there, boy, when he gets it, especially around the goal line, like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Lawrence eluding the pressure right. Looking deep for Adams. And he fires one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now Chubb running right. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Andre Cisco there on the stop. 2nd down and 5. Chubb will get the call running left. 37-yard line. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of first. Just a gain of 2 there that's going to bring up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And he will find his man on the outside. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll run with Chubb. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got them into the end zone.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns have retaken the lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good to make it 21-17. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Gibson again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter. Bravo. Check 13. Check 13.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Second and 5. Gibson here running out of the gun.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, Lawrence escaping the pressure right. He'll get this off to Etienne. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
One score down. Here we go.
Check, check. Fresno. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Flushed out right. And it's complete to Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Once more, Gibson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll run with Etienne. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
One more time with Gibson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it with Gibson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Browns drive about to get started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the